Coming up on the Brave Sports Network, the Landon Bussie program coming up in just a matter of moments. The Alcorn Braves of the 6th seed. Landon Bussie predicted we would not be a 7. It came true. The Braves will take on Bethune-Cookman. 2 meetings during the regular season, 2 victories by the Braves in the regular season. A recent meeting down in Daytona. So we'll talk all about that. We'll talk all about the season. We'll talk all about the postseason. All that coming up next. We'll take a 1-minute break. We'll be right back here on the Brave Sports Network.
Here, every journey is unique, but no one walks alone. At the Alcorn State University School of Business, we don't just teach business, we always empower visionaries who dare to reimagine it. From day one, you'll forge connections and develop the confidence to lead in a rapidly evolving world. Join a legacy of trailblazers who don't just respond to change, they drive it. Always ahead, always empowering, always Alcorn.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are, the Landon Bussie program from Atlanta. Glad you could join us here on the Brave Sports Network, 91.7 WPRL at WPRL.org. Our producers, Cedric Tillman and Jamario Brooks, SWAC Tournament edition of the head coach Landon Bussie show. You can text a question, 601-301-2611 on X, Tall Man Radio. The Braves will be the last game on Thursday as they take on Bethune-Cookman, 8:30 tip-off from Atlanta. Glad you can join us. Braves head coach Landon Bussie, as you can see, the Braves getting ready for their first-round tournament opponent, getting ready for the third season, the postseason. Coach Bussie, how you doing?
Doing good.
How is the team settled in getting into Atlanta and Pine Bluff a few days ago, coming home for a day and then hitting the road coming here? How's the team adjusted to all of that?
It's been well. Having good practices, focus there, good film meetings and studies and things of those nature. I think everybody's locked in and understanding what's at stake and understanding that right now, only thing we can stress is the season is 0-0. Nothing else matters. No seeding, no rankings, no streaks, nothing matters. Season is 0-0. Only one team will make it to the NCAA tournament. And after this weekend, only one team will still be playing basketball.
Coach Gilbert talked about it previously that at this time in the SWAC tournament, there are no upsets. Are you a believer in that as well?
Absolutely. It's March Madness. It's called March Madness for a reason.
Yeah.
Crazy things and shocking things that happen, but upsets in the SWAC, no upsets in the SWAC. No upsets. It's whoever plays the hardest, whoever's more prepared, whoever's more focused, and whatever team is more connected will win. It's no upsets in the SWAC. Regardless of who wins Thursday, it's not considered upset.
We talk about it as me and other folks who cover this SWAC and who covers Alcorn. We always have fun with it, but in this league, and look, you were a women's coach at Prairie View for a short period of time, and we saw earlier Prairie View A&M, a team that some people kind of left on the side of the road. They beat Bethune-Cookman, and so that shocked a number of people. But as Nate Kilbert said, it was not a surprise. And look, one of the things that we've talked about and people talk about in social media circles and coaching circles and coach speak and fan speak, well, you hear the phrase, well, it's hard to beat a team 3 times in a season. We've seen it happen. It does happen. Are you a believer in that, Coach? Or is that a philosophy for you? Or is it just, hey, if you do the same things from the previous 2 meetings, if you make tweaks and adjustments, you can beat a team 3 times in a season? And we've seen that. But when you hear that, what kind of goes through your mind when you hear the phrase, well, it's hard to beat a team 3 times in a season, whether you've beaten that team previously twice or split or lost twice?
I mean, it's hard beating a team you never beat before. So either way, it's going to be hard. If you beat them before, split, I mean, right now every game is going to be tough, regardless of what happened in the past. No one knows about, no one cares about. I'll go back and look at those film as game as though if we did lose, we did not do a good job of defending. We did not do a good job of ball screen coverage. So I look at it as if though we did lose. So it's a lot of corrections and things like that we got to make up.
How do you make those corrections, Coach, on the fly? And I go back, me personally, just thinking about this team in non-conference. You all played so many different games in so many different time zones. I think Coach Schwartz was saying you're playing 6 games in 10 days. We can share a whole bunch of stories. That Black Friday game against South Alabama, you leave that, you go on campus for a few hours, and then you got to go back to the airport and fly out to Baltimore. So many things you had to deal with in a short period of time, but yet your team was focused and your team was ready. These are the type of things, even though that was in December, November, that kind of toughen you up for these type of moments in March. Do you believe in that?
I mean, yeah, I mean, everything that we did in the past, it prepared us for this moment. If it's just the Utah games to the Maryland games to Grambling game on the road, everything you do prepare, it builds you up for this weekend. We have been preparing since last spring for one weekend, and just like anybody else. So this is what you do, all the running and all the 55s and all the conditioning and weights and the films, the meetings, the tough coaching, and you do everything for one weekend and nothing else. So we here, we'll be ready. We'll get out there and give 110% effort.
The last game, Coach, against UAPB, to me, and I know the UAPB, that was a SWAC tournament because they got what they wanted. Prairie View lost, and the last 10 minutes to me felt like a SWAC tournament game, close game, intense. I mean, if UAPB wins, they're in the tournament. They lose, their season's over. And yet, you've been talking about being tough in the toughest moments. I thought we grew up in that game. In the final seconds, on the road, tough environment, senior day, and we found a way. I mean, even though that's been a few days ago, you turned the page, but you just talked about the moments that lead into this week. I thought that was a big moment on Saturday and a really huge moment, and we helped ourselves, and we got the help, and you said we weren't going to be a 7 seed, we're a 6 seed. So all those dynamics kind of worked out for us in the build-up for this tournament for us.
Yeah, I mean that game right there was another gritty and grimy game. We had to find a way to pull through, and you just take your hats off to your team, the guys who was able to get up there and make big plays. If it was steal, rebound, deflection, we did a great job of just trying to find a way to pull through and get that victory.
I've talked to a number of people over the last 4 days that have told me, with what you have done and the resume you have built, 2 regular season championships, a number 2 seed, 2 NIT appearances, and they have commended you. This was probably your best coaching job because you didn't know, and you told me in September, it's going to be a lot of work needed. And there still is a lot of work needed to hoist that trophy. But for this team, and I know we let some games slip away, but the hard work that you put into this group for us to be where we are with a lot of scattered pieces and not knowing really what you had, even new assistant coaches that you had to bring in. A lot of people feel like that was the best coaching job that you've had since you've been here. What do you say to that?
Yeah. I mean, well, it is because I don't have J.K. to bail me out of moments. I don't have DJ Bruton to bail me out of when we struggling scoring and we trying to hunt. I don't have Keandre Montgomery to hit a big time 3. I don't have Byron Joshua to come up with a big time steal. Guys who built my program for years. I don't have them guys DK Thorne to hit a big time 3. I don't have Jeremiah Gabriel just So a lot more coaching and teaching had to take place. So when people are evaluating that, they're evaluating off. When I had JK, my life was easy. Give the ball to him. Everybody else get out the way. And he's going to put us on top. So now it's just a little more strategy, a little more teaching, a little more patience, a little more game planning, and a little more preparation. But just trying to make sure that we got our T's crossed and our I's dotted, and that we're not giving down any breakdowns on the defensive side of the ball.
When you look at this team, Coach, was there? And I know what you're going to say. Did you kind of doubt yourself a little bit? I mean, I go back to the Jackson State game, the second go around. We had a week to get ready after Jackson State. Like you said the words, it's kind of lost in terms of where things were with this team. And even the first meeting against Jackson State at home, you're pretty emotional. What did you see in this team over the last couple of weeks that kind of says, you know what? Of course, the UAPB game, but you kind of felt that we're going to be okay here as we get to Atlanta.
I mean, I always thought it was going to be okay. Like I said, we was lost. I was lost, but I was told you I'm going to find answers and find solutions. So I'm a firm believer in continue to fighting, not letting anything stop me from achieving my goals, and finding a way. It's times where as though I was searching for answers. Have I found the answers yet? I don't know. We'll find out Thursday. But I'm going to continue fighting to try to find answers to put this program in championship form every time we step on the court.
What were some of the questions you were asking yourself, and what were some of the answers that you're able to get here down the stretch to kind of make you feel a little bit better?
Why are we starting slow? Why are we starting slow? What are we doing? I mean, are these guys not focused before the game? Is it the lineup? Is it the defensive game plan? Is it the stretching? Why are we starting so slow and wait till the second half to start playing? Also, why aren't we moving with a sense of urgency as far as rebounding the ball? Why can't we remember to box out? Why do we got to watch so much film and go through so many box out drills? Why won't these guys retain this information? So those type of answers.
And the last few games, you feel like it's starting to soak in, especially now. I mean, it's one and done. Survive in advance.
You just don't know. You'll find out Thursday, though. We'll see if we checked off them boxes, starting fast, rebound it down, and get into your rotations on the defensive side of the ball.
We're talking with Braves head coach Landon Bussie, the Landon Bussie program. You can text a question, 601-301-2611, 601-877-6595. If you want to ask a question on X, Tall Man Radio. Coach, the last game against UAPB, I felt so good because Amari Hamilton hit 3 big threes in that game. His second game back. Take us through, because I was asking you about Amari Hamilton a month ago, and you're like, I don't know. And then just your tone just kind of gave me the impression, I might be wrong, that you might be ready to shut him down, or he might be ready to shut it down, just because it was just a slow grind and whether he would get back. Talk about the process to stay with him. Give us your thoughts on his process of staying with it and just trying to give as much as he can here the last couple of weeks to get ready.
I mean, I just didn't know. I didn't know if he was going, how healthy he was. I didn't know if he would return, and I didn't want to just throw out assumptions. I didn't know. So, but him coming back gives us a spacing. You got another guy who can make a shot. Spacing. Right now, we need spacing for driving lanes for Marcus, driving lanes for Jali, driving lanes for Davion, driving lanes for open up spacing on the block for Mike and Jair. And when you get a guy like Julian and a guy like Amari with big wings, 6'5" plus, that can make a shot, it gives you that spacing. So that was the huge thing more so anything, not let alone him making the shot, but the spacing that he gives us.
So his presence, Coach, is really the key. And because he's a really good three-point shooter, and we saw that against UAPB, that adds a more of a threat with Tankersley and obviously Jaleel Gaines-Wyatt.
Absolutely, because guys can't get in the gap so much, give it over the help side so much, because you got a shooter right there that you got to close out to really hard. And if you don't close out, then when his feet are set, he's going to knock it down.
Talking with Braves head coach Landon Bussie. Coach, also, Luau has been really good of late, and you've been proud of his development, and he's being left wide open, and he's making teams pay.
Yeah, I mean his athleticism and his versatility, and what he can do on the defensive side of the ball have been huge. I think he led us in scoring the other night, and I think he led us in rebounding. If I'm not mistaken, I know he had 10 points against 10 rebounds against Valley. So he's very athletic, very versatile. Another guy who can make a shot. Another guy when he's locked in, he's really, really good.
And I was looking at the all conference team, coach. I thought we would get one or two guys there on that all conference team. Were you surprised when you saw that? That I thought maybe Benet, with his defensive presence, would get some mentions at times. Lee Gaines Wyatt. I thought we would have one or two. When you saw that, were you surprised that none of your guys made all conference?
I wasn't surprised at all.
Not surprised. Yeah, I mean, I just as a fan, as someone that's seen every play of every game, I really thought that we would have at least Benet, who really has been terrific for us. At least he would get in there because of what he's done the last, really all year, but the last 7 or 8 games, his presence, especially on the defensive end, some key blocks, especially against UAPB and other games. I thought that might get him to the finish line on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, I mean, he's been a present and enforcer inside the paint. But the guy who got Defensive Player of the Year, you got to give him credit. Andre Nunley from Southern. He has been a lockdown defender all year, so you don't want to take any credit away from him. But Jai has been doing an unbelievable job of being an enforcer inside the paint. If he feel like he has been snubbed, go ahead and show it.
You'll have a chance to do that as you take on Bethune-Cookman. Coach, you were talking about Cameron Foreman. Like, you've been glowing in terms of what doesn't show in the stat sheet when it comes to him. Kind of reiterate for us what he will mean with this team taking on Bethune-Cookman.
Just his deflections, him being in the right place at the right time, his communication, his stunts, his box out, his help side defense, him walling up. All those intangible things don't show up in the stat sheet, and he is huge for us. What he brings to the table is irreplaceable. You want more guys to be like that. You want more guys to commit and be selfless and sell your soul to the defensive side of the ball. His energy don't show up. His communication, his intensity, his urgency, everything he brings to the table is everything I want to embody.
What have you been able to share with your team, Coach? You got the experience in terms of getting to the championship. We haven't hoisted the trophy, but we've been to the SWAC championship game. We made that deep run. What are you sharing with your team, especially the guys who haven't been here? We know Mike Pajot's been there, but other guys, this is kind of a new experience for some.
Just stay focused, follow the game plan, everything else. If we just follow the game plan, we'll be fine. We have a great game plan that we're putting in place to be successful. We got to follow it. Now, the good thing about it is, we got more than a day and two to prepare. We have started preparing since yesterday, which is Monday, preparing for Bethune. So we're preparing. We got to understand that, two of their key players is back, Freeman and Ward. Neither one of them guys played in either game we played in the regular season. Both of them guys are fully healthy and back playing, and both of them guys are really, really, really good basketball players. So we got our hands full. This is a completely different Bethune-Cookman team that you saw all regular season.
Yep, and we know what this team can do with Trey Thomas. When we saw them in Daytona, they were severely shorthanded. And so when they got some of those guys back, they were a completely different ball club. They had two players on the all-conference team, Trey Thomas and Daniel Rozan. So when you look at this team in totality now, coaches, we kind of get into this matchup. And again, Thursday at 8:30, we'll be playing Bethune-Cookman, the 3 and 6 seed. What do you see in this Reggie Theus team in the two meetings? You said those players that we hadn't seen, that they're a totally different team. What are you seeing on film since they are fully healthy?
I see a lot more depth, a lot more scoring. They was down a lot more adversity and toughness. They was down against Bethune pretty much the whole game. I think at one point they was down 4 points with like 15 seconds to go and won that game. So I just see a lot more depth, toughness, and willingness to the win.
And in the postseason, coach, I've been saying this on different shows, and correct me if I'm wrong here, and you would know because it's defense first with you. In the postseason, games slow down. Defense is what gets it done on the in the SWAC tournament. Teams averaging 70, 75 a game. You slow a team down defensively, you have a shot. And we know what you've been able to do with previous teams where our defense was huge. We get enough offense, but defense. Is it safe to say once you get into the postseason tournament, NCAA tournament, game slows down, it's more of a defensive grind than an offensive show? Can you hear me, Coach? All right, we're gonna take a timeout right here, Coach. Coach, can you hear me there? All right, we're gonna take a timeout here. We'll be right back after this timeout here on the Landon Bussie program. We'll be right back.
Agriculture isn't just what we do, it's who we've always been. At Alcorn State University's College of Agriculture and Applied Sciences, we've always understood that feeding the world takes more than knowledge. It takes heart. Our rigorous programs blend time-honored wisdom with cutting-edge science. Here, you'll join generations of innovators who've always pushed boundaries while keeping their roots firmly planted in tradition. Always growing, always innovating, always Alcorn.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right, I'm back.
All right, we welcome you back. Boy, the Wi-Fi issues are just crazy here. Coach, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, there we go. All right, so I was asking about defensively. Is it me? Is it my imagination? Is it my craziness? Am I out of my mind when I say in the postseason, whether it's a conference tournament, NCAA tournament, the game slows down and it's really all about defense and not as much about scoring. It's about getting stops instead of getting buckets. I mean, you got to score, but if you can lock teams down a little bit, like Southern has been able to do most of the time, you have a shot. Do you believe that defense is what wins the SWAC championship?
Um, I pride myself on that. I'm gonna stick to what I know. That's my strength. I believe it wins championship. However, you need to find a way to put the ball in the basket as well.
Do you feel like this is the most efficient offensively? And I know we've had our struggles, but you feel good offensively now with Hamilton back in the fold. You've got another option, another three-point shooting option. You feel like your offense is rounding out into shape at its peak as we get ready for the tournament.
I mean, I like how our offense is. I like the guys that we have to put the ball in the basket. Of course, when you know add a big wing like that who can make a shot, that's huge, especially this time of the year. If Amari get a game, make some shots, that'll be huge for us.
So talk about Thomas, Coach. You talked about the two pieces they didn't have in the two meetings, but Thomas, I thought we did a good job on him, especially in Daytona. He got going though. How does he make that team go?
I mean, he's a first team all conference guy. It speaks for itself. He's a scorer. He hasn't saw a shot that he don't like. The moment he steps off the bus, you got to guard him. He can put the ball on the floor, score at all three levels, tough, will compete. So, everything about him makes it hard on you. We just got to do a good job of loading up, trying to make him take tough shots, then rebounding down.
What about Rozan, Coach? I mean, I thought he had some key buckets in that second meeting, and he seems to be all over the place to me. And what's the key to at least limiting his contributions?
Three-quarter him, make him see bodies, make him see big hands. Don't let him pick you apart. We just got to do a good job of three-quarter that post, get back to transition defense, and making sure that we make him work. We cannot take our foot off the gas and let him get comfortable.
Yeah, I think that's one of the key moments early in the game, Coach. First 5 minutes, what are you looking for from your team in the first 5 minutes here in the SWAC tournament against Bethune?
Intensity, urgency, same thing we talked about in the regular season. Coming out on fire, trying to get some stops, get some offensive rebound, get in transition, convert. Just trying to bring some intensity on the defensive side of the ball.
Coach, I saw on social media the Atlanta chapter, both for the women and for your team, was in the hotel. Just talk about that great gesture from the Atlanta chapter here for the ladies and your team.
I'm just having an opportunity for the Atlanta chapter to come and show their face and meet some of these young men and show their support. Is big. It's big for these guys. Letting them know that Alcorn is nationally known. No matter where you go, you can run into Alcornite. So for them taking the time out their day to come here and show support to the men's and women's basketball, we appreciate it.
Yeah, just talk about the fan support, Coach. Being in Atlanta, the National Alumni Meeting's been here. I mean, Atlanta is a great base for Alcornites. And I know they'll show up and show out for this game on Thursday. Just talk about the support all year, whether it's Birmingham, whether it's Maryland, wherever the case. Just talk about that support.
Yeah, I mean, I think that we just got support all over. Even with the South Alabama, we had alumni cook Thanksgiving for us, and it was huge at the game. It's just like I said, you never know when you're going to see Alcornite. So all the ones that come out and support, you appreciate. You take your hats off to them, and you thank.
Coach, before we let you go, 3 keys to victory here as we get ready to play on Thursday night. And then the schedule. I mean, this is Tuesday. You don't play for another 50 hours or so. What's going to be the schedule the next couple of days to keep the focus there?
Practice tomorrow, film, rest, practice. Thursday we'll have shoot around in the morning, watch film, same ritual. But the keys is just going to be coming out on fire first 5 minutes. Following the game plan and making open shots.
I know this time of year when it comes to the SWAC tournament, and people say, man, Landon Bussie has just done a terrific job. It's just hoisting that championship trophy. I know you think about that probably every day. So that's, we've had two NIT appearances. We've had 2 regular season titles. The only thing left is to hoist that trophy, whether it was in Birmingham or here in Atlanta. And how often do you think about that? Just what could have been. I know early on you thought about it a lot. Do you still think about it a lot?
I mean, yeah. I want it. I'm hungry for it. I'm motivated. I want it. I want it. I want to get there. I want these guys to experience it. It's something that is one of the best experiences ever. Been there once in my life. I want to get back to it. I want my guys to experience it, so I'm hungry for it.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
That's Braves head coach Landon Bussie. Coach, we appreciate it. A couple of technical glitches, and we'll be talking. I'll be getting with you tomorrow pregame on Thursday around 8:15 if everything goes on schedule. Coach, we appreciate it, and we'll be talking to you Thursday.
All right, thank you.
That's Braves head coach Landon Bussie, ladies and gentlemen. That'll do it here as the sun is setting here in Atlanta on Eastern time as we approach the 7 o'clock hour here in Atlanta. I'm Charles Epping. Glad you could join us. We'll talk to you on Thursday, early for the Lady Braves, late night for the men. We'll talk to you Thursday night. So long.